All right, hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Dorothy. Thanks for joining me. So right now, I want to talk about November and what's going on with that. So right now, let me just give you a brief synopsis of November. So November's energy, the astrological energy, is Scorpio for the most part. With the sun already in the sign of Scorpio, we're looking to be a little more intense. We're looking at clearing the things that have been part of our lives for a very long time that we want to get rid of, because Scorpio is very well known for transformation. And for things to transform, we need to see what really is the root of any issue or the cause of issues that we might have in our lives. So this is an opportunity once a year, especially when the sun moves through that Scorpio energy, for us to be made aware of what is deep within, what is hidden from ourselves, what we hide from ourselves, or where this transformation in our lives need to happen. And so we're going to work with that because we have many planets moving through the sign of Scorpio and a few others, and we'll get to the details of that in a second. So wherever you have Scorpio in your chart, I will be addressing that by talking about each zodiac sign next and how that plays out for you. Okay, Aries, this is for you. Starting on November 2nd, Mercury moves into the sign of Scorpio, and that, in essence, enters your solar 8th house. And that's where Scorpio naturally lives. And so the energy of this tells me that you're researching and you would be digging in deep about things that are related to Mercury. So communication, things that you've talked about, are coming back up. This is where the sun is transiting for you as well at this point in time. So when the sun moves through a certain sector, no matter what our sign is, everybody has Scorpio somewhere. For you, it's your solar 8th house. And so I want you to think about digging in deep, using this energy in a positive way, digging in and investigating things, taking that extra step to understand something that you don't understand, and to really look into your own finances, especially the finances in regards to things, the money you have to borrow or the money that you get to use that you don't actually have to earn. So think of all the categories that would run under, child support, alimony, credit cards. It is debt we have to pay back sometimes too, mortgages, things like that. It is also money that we owe, again, which would be mortgages, credit cards, taxes. So this is something that could be a highlight for you over the next 3 weeks while Mercury moves through that sector of your chart in the sign of Scorpio, while the sun is there as well. Same thing, on the same day we have Venus making a conjunction to Mars, both in Virgo in your solar 6th house. So focusing in on what your daily routine is in regards to your relationships, because of Venus, Mars taking action in what needs to happen, and since it's in Virgo in your 6th house, that represents really focusing in on your daily health routine. This is what all this energy is going on November 2nd. That's just November 2nd. But we also have on November 8th, let's moving on, Venus moving into Sagittarius at that point. And when it moves into Sagittarius, no it doesn't. It moves into the sign of Libra. And when Venus moves into the sign of Libra, it moves into your solar 7th house of partnerships and relationships. Now it was just with Mars, and that also represents relationships. Now it's in your 7th house. So you might be seeking a relationship, seeking to make your own current relationship, if you're in one, more harmonious and balanced, or finding a new one. Moving on to November 11th, we do have a new moon in the sign of Scorpio in that solar 8th house for you. I will put up a separate video when that gets closer, so go check that out. But just know the information that that new moon video tells you, again, is all about Scorpio energy. I just said what it was, okay? Finances, taxes, things, and investigating, researching things. All right, now, to follow Venus into the sign of Libra is Mars, and Mars will move into the sign of Libra on the 12th of November, and when it does that, again, it moves into the solar 7th house. Venus is faster than Mars just because it's closer to the sun, and so it's gonna go ahead, and they're not gonna meet again. But in the for a while. But in the meantime, both Venus, the feminine, Mars, the masculine, are both in the sign of Libra now in your 7th house. So relationships are definitely something that are going to be a big focus for you. And since the Scorpio energy is really strong in that 8th house, there's also something to do with really digging in deep and finding a very, very interesting, very committed, very deep relationship is something that might be on your mind. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit now. Let me see what else I want to talk about. On November 20th, Mercury moves out of Scorpio and into the sign of Sagittarius, and then into your solar 9th house. And since it does that, that helps you to focus in on higher education and expanding your information, expanding your knowledge. So let's take advantage of that for you, Aries, and really focus in on what it is you want to learn something new this season, this fall season. Next we have, I want to look at on November 22nd, the Sun finally finishes its trek through Scorpio and moves into the sign of Sagittarius, again highlighting where you want to expand your knowledge, expand your awareness, expand information, and to learn and to express freedom of some sort for yourself. That's what that moon, the Sun in Sagittarius moving into that 9th house sector is about for you. Next we have, on the 23rd, we have Venus in Libra. She is ready and willing to have this relationship with somebody, or to create a new relationship with somebody, or to work on harmonizing an old relationship. And on the 23rd of November, she is in an opposition to Uranus and Aries, which is in your solar 1st house. And so that tells me that there needs to be a large level of freedom and self-expression in the dynamic of the relationship that you're either currently in, trying to gain that freedom within a relationship that you're in, or breaking from a relationship, so you're just going to be an individual for a while and learn about relationships just through being alone and finding your own peace and harmony within yourself. That's a really important thing when Venus is in Libra, especially when she makes that opposition to Uranus once a year. And I want to finish up. We got a couple of things here on, November 11th. I should put the notes right behind the camera here instead of looking down. On November 24th, Mercury in Sagittarius makes a conjunction to Saturn in Sagittarius. This is all about, really stabilizing how you're thinking. That Mercury is our thinking, our thoughts, and our communication. When it's in Sagittarius, it's in its opposite sign, so sometimes we can put our foot in our mouth when Mercury is in Sag. But in this energy, what it represents, because it's connecting, it's making a conjunction to Saturn. It wants you to stabilize your thoughts, stabilize your words, really think about what you're going to say. It's not dysfunctional, but it just wants you to slow it down. A couple days later, on the 29th of November, the Sun will come to Saturn and make a conjunction. So the way we end the month of November is in somewhat of a stabilizing way. The Sun in Sagittarius is fun and exciting energy, and they're usually people who are they love to explore when the Sun is in that sign, and love to really learn through exploring and through traveling. And so with all of this going on in your solar 9th house, especially the Sun conjunct Saturn, you may commit to some long-term education. You may commit to taking a long-distance trip, a foreign trip for yourself. The possibilities are endless, because with Sagittarius, the possibilities are endless. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. And thanks for watching, and blessings for you.